entire campaign with, just as any big celebration or series of celebrations has to be identified or branded in some way, we are looking to develop a unique and specific logo for this event, for the 40th anniversary of the temple opening. So we'd like to have a competition for the design of a very specific logo, the details of which will be shared in the next few days on social media, so please keep that in mind. But I'll just quickly tell you some of the expectations on this logo. It must include our current temple logo, you know, the famous line drawing of the temple on the lotus, famous one. It must be an original artwork. We don't want any plagiarism that we may get into legal trouble with. Any medium, both traditional and medium is okay. Don't hold this against me, but this is my personal preference, but please no AI-generated artwork. It's a bit too much. You can use AI if you want to develop your plan, but your final product shouldn't be artificial intelligence generated. The logo should not be too detailed and fine because we're going to use it on different platforms, print media, so if it's too difficult, if it's too fine, it may not reproduce and transfer across social media platforms very nicely. And you may submit many entries towards the competition. The prize is yet to be determined, but I'm convinced it will be saturated with a lot of mercy from Shri Radharani. So please help us with this, and also besides this, like I said earlier, start getting your creative juices flowing and start thinking of ways in which we can commemorate this wonderful event. With the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. This temple is Srila Prabhupada's gift to all of us. And now we have an opportunity to glorify him for the same gift that he's given us. So we look forward to all of your input. Shri Shri Radharani ki jai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So devotees, what a wonderful occasion. The appearance day of our protector, Lord Narsingh. What a wonderful, wonderful personality who is, well, he's our protector. And of course we all need protection. We're wandering here in this material world, and it's very difficult sometimes. Sometimes it's extremely difficult. Even sometimes it's dangerous. And so we particularly need protection here. And this we can get from Lord Narsingh. So first of all, devotees, I'm going to read a verse, maybe a couple of verses, from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. First of all, I'll read 5th canto, chapter 18, verse 8. It's quite a dramatic verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsingh. Namaste Just Tejase Avira Avira Bhava Vajranaka, Vajradamstra, Karvashaya, Randaya, Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha, Abhayam Abhayam Atmani, Bhuyishta Om Shrom. So yes, this is 5th Canto, chapter 18, verse 8, and it is Prahlad Maharaj, and he's saying, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsingadev, the source of all power. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Navane, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachade Shitare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gauravata Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hachkaptruyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha, Paritama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So there are many things that we can say about Lord Nrsingadev on his appearance day, and we will. We'll say a number of different things, but let's start here. We mentioned that Lord Nrsingadev, particularly his pastime, his activity, what he does is protect. And he protected Prahlad in just a very sort of straightforward sense, you could say, protected Prahlad from being killed by his father. So physical protection. And even if you're familiar with the Leela Rita, you would have read how Srila Prabhupada, when he was first in New York, after maybe a year or two, something like that, maybe a year and a half, Srila Prabhupada had something like a heart attack, something along those lines, and he was hospitalized. And for a while, it looked like even he himself was thinking that seems like Krishna is calling me. He wants to take me. But Srila Prabhupada, of course, the devotees, they didn't want to lose Srila Prabhupada. They'd only known him for a year or so. It was really early days of the Krishna consciousness movement, and it was really early days in their Krishna consciousness. So they were feeling he can't go, and they expressed that to Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada, he then taught them the prayers to Lord Nrsingadev, which Smita Krishna Prabhu was just singing a few minutes ago. And of course, we all know those prayers extremely well. We sing them at the end or just after Arati ceremonies every day. Namaste, Narsinghaya, etc. You know those verses. So Srila Prabhupada taught those verses to the devotees under those circumstances that it looked, it was really hard to say what was going to happen. And it appeared that Prabhupada might actually depart. But the devotees didn't want him to at all. So he taught them these verses which we sing at the end of Arati every day. So that's physical protection. Physical protection. But this verse that we've just read, let me just read it again. It's really, the Sanskrit is quite amazing, the rhythm of it all. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsingh. Namaste Tejase Avya Avya Bhava. Vajradaka Vajra Dramstra. Karmashaya Randhaya Randhama Randhaya. Tamagrasa Grasa Om Swaha. Abhayam Abhayam Atmani. Bhuyishna Om Shrom. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narsingh, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruit of activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So like I said, this is Prahlad, and he's praying for protection. But what is he praying for protection from? He's not praying for protection from his father, Hiranyakashipu, or any of the associates of Hiranyakashipu. Different of them were harassing him from time to time, and not just harassing, but trying to kill him. But you don't find, if you study Srimad Bhagavatam, particularly the 7th canto, where the story of Lord Narsingh and Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu is described in detail, you don't find one verse. Have a look and you'll see if you search around a little carefully. You don't find a single verse in which Prahlad is praying, oh my dear Lord Narsingh, please protect me from my father, Hiranyakashipu. He's trying to kill me. Please stop him. Protect me from being killed by him. You don't find a verse like that. This is basically the only verse in the whole Bhagavatam spoken by Prahlad, in which Prahlad is praying for protection. And what is the sense of it? How is he putting it? You could say he is praying for protection from himself. We should take this to heart. Kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruit of activity, materialistic desires. Drive away our ignorance, because in that way we can become fearless within this material world. Because if you're a devotee like Prahlad, of course Prahlad is very special, he's a very great devotee, and we're not on that level at all. But still, the point is there in principle that if we are fixed in our Krishna consciousness, then when the time of death comes, and it is coming, that's the bad news, or the good news, anyway, that's the news, you could say. If we're fixed in Krishna consciousness, we'll be all right, we'll come through, and we could go back to Godhead. That's what Prabhupada was encouraging. Time and time again, make this our last lifetime in this world. And if we practice the way he wanted us to practice, Krishna consciousness, then it can be the last time. And we can just go back to Godhead, right from here in chats. Direct flight back to Godhead. Unit 5 to Goloka Vrindavan. It's true, actually. If we just, as Prabhupada would say, if we just chant 16 rounds a day, follow the regulative principles, do some service, then away you go. You've basically got your ticket back to Godhead. So in that sense, the time of death, it doesn't have to be such a sort of dominating and overwhelming thing. If we really stick to our Krishna consciousness, by the Lord's mercy, we can come through on the other side. That's the idea, actually. It's what we're meant to do. So, but the thing is, if our desires for material activity in this material world, and if our ignorance of spirituality, if these things are strong enough and prominent enough in our minds and in our lives, then we won't go back to Godhead. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's like throwing away the ticket. Yeah. And you can't get it back. So Prahlad is famous for being protected by Lord Nrsimhadev from his father. And that's relevant for us because we face difficulties sometimes. Who knows what's going to happen to South Africa? Hare Krishna. Wait till what? Wednesday night? A week? Or Thursday or something? Anyway, very long. Well, I am proud, I'm sort of proud to say I've never voted in my 72 years, or all the years I've been an adult. I never voted because I think they're all too useless. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen? Who knew that COVID was going to happen? Who knew that Russia was going to invade Ukraine? Who knew that this Israel-Palestine situation was going to happen? Who knew? I don't think maybe anyone at all. So who knows what's going to happen in our lives, in this material world? So protection. We need protection. And Lord Nrsimhadev specializes in protection. This is his thing. This is what he does. He has this one specialty. Krishna has many specialties. He dances with the gopis, he milks the cows, and he kills demons, and so many things Krishna does. But Lord Nrsimhadev, he protects. That's what he does. He doesn't really do anything else. Have you ever heard of Lord Nrsimhadev dancing with some gopis? No, because he doesn't do it. So that's his specialty, but we should bear in mind, of course, physical protection. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. And like I mentioned, Srila Prabhupada, he established the worship of Nrsimhadev in ISKCON on the basis of protecting him from physical danger of very serious life-threatening disease. So that's okay, that's there. But ultimately, this point of being protected from our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world, that is more critical, more crucial than just being protected from physical danger, because the day is going to come where even the youngest of us here. What's your age now, Shreya? 17. 13. Okay, you may be the youngest, I don't know, but Your time will come too. According to the law of averages, you've got quite a way to go, but it's going to come. And at that time, you've got to be fixed in Krishna consciousness. If we're not fixed in Krishna consciousness, we won't make it. Simple. We won't make it. And then we'll take birth again, and who knows where and what's going to happen, and so on. So I wanted to mention this first, because it's really a crucial point. That protection, we need protection. We should pray to Lord Narsingh regularly for protection, but not just in the physical sense. So please bear that in mind. Now, devotees, I'm going to refer a little bit to the story of the appearance of Lord Narsingh and, well, the whole build-up to it with Hiranyakashipu and what happened, and then Prahlad, his interactions with Prahlad, and then we'll, towards the end, we'll talk about or read Lord Narsingh killing him. But there's an interesting story in Narsingh Purana, which you might not, some of you, I would assume, would not be aware of. Let me just say, first of all, if the type of the nature of a child born to parents, a mother and a father, if the nature of the child depends on the consciousness of the parents, how did Hiranyakashipu father Prahlad Maharaj? How's that for a good question? Normally, in order to get a good devoted child, parents have to be good devotees. That's sort of like standard formula in that aspect of the lives of devotees. If you've got just materialists, the likelihood of them giving birth to really saintly, sweet child, male or female, is not great. So Hiranyakashipu, he's the topmost materialist of all time. And how did he father one of the topmost devotees? Well, Narsingh Purana gives an explanation that's interesting. That when Hiranyakashipu was away doing austerities in order to become powerful and take over the universe, he did austerities to become powerful. So, while he was away doing that, Narada Muni, great Vaishnava, we've all heard of Narada Muni, and another great Vaishnava, Parvat Muni, who's like an associate of his, they were asked by Lord Brahma, can you do something to stop this Hiranyakashipu doing these austerities, because he's going to become too powerful. He'll be too powerful. So can you help stop him? So what they did, they transformed themselves into birds. And Hiranyakashipu was standing there, just immobile, and they would fly around him chanting, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, like all day, every day. And Hiranyakashipu, of course, Narayan, he really didn't appreciate Lord Narayan at all. So what happened was, he became so disturbed with this, he stopped his austerities and he went home. And when he went home, he was associating with his wife, Kayadu, and they decided to have a child, to conceive a child. So while they were in the process of conceiving Prahlad, who should come in the form of a bird, but Narada Muni specifically. And as they're in the process of conception, Narada Muni in the form of this bird was flying around, and what was he singing? I mean, if he did it like that, nothing would have happened. Who knows what sort of oddball people. But he was chanting, Om Naro, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. What was he chanting?
Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
And this just got into the head of Hiranyakashipu. And as a result, Prahlad Maharaj was born. That's an interesting point. Anyway, Hiranyakashipu, he was extremely ambitious. He wanted to take over the universe. That's why he was doing the austerities, to become powerful. So, if you want to become powerful, do austerities. Yeah. There's one devotee, actually. His name is Bhavananda Das. And he was a leading devotee in Prabhupada's time in ISKCON. And he followed chaturdasi rigidly. He wouldn't shave, he wouldn't cut his fingernails or toenails. He ate once a day off the actual ground. Really austere, extremely austere. What happened was, in due course, it's a bit of a long story, but some thugs attacked our temple in Mayapur, and he was leading the temple. And Bharat, Amara Bharat, being what it is, if you understand what that is, our India, Mera Bharat Mahan. It's not many trucks drive around India. So the thugs didn't get arrested, but the devotees got arrested. And actually he got arrested. He got arrested and made a whole scene about it. And it became the top news item for the whole country. How this American sannyasi has been mistreated so extremely badly. He became famous. So Srila Prabhupada said he became famous because of his austerities. Yeah. So, if any of you want to become famous or just whatever, develop something special, kind of on the material level, you can do austerities. So he became very powerful, Hiranyakashipu. And he became so powerful, he was at the same time praying to Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma was told that if you don't go down, this person wants to meet you and get some blessings from you. So you got to go, because if you don't go, who knows what is he going to do? He could create chaos in the universe. Interestingly enough, Narada Muni came and told Lord Brahma that actually what Mr. Hiranyakashipu wants, he wants blessings from you, Lord Brahma, so that you can defeat him in battle and then you can become Lord Brahma. Bhagavatam explains this. So, Lord Brahma was advised strongly, don't go to him. Don't give him any benedictions, because this is what he wants. He wants to kill you and become Lord Brahma. But, as they say, have you heard the saying, flattery will get you nowhere? Have you heard that one? You know it's completely wrong. Flattery will get you everywhere. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. It is simply amazing. So you can read in the Bhagavatam how he flattered Lord Brahma. He addressed him as Bhagavan. He addressed him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Brahma was so flattered that he told him, all right, tell me what you want, I'll give it to you. Which is what he had been told not to do. But, flattery will get you everywhere. So then, Hiranyakashipu asked for some benedictions. Listen to this. Please let me not meet death from any of the living entities created by you. Grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence, during the daytime or at night, nor on the ground, nor in the sky. Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. Grant me that I not be dead from any entity, living or non-living. Grant me that I not be killed by any demigod or demon, or any great snake from the lower planets. Since no one can kill you in the battlefield, you have no competitor. Therefore grant me the benediction that I too may have no rival. Grant me sole lordship over all the living entities and presiding deities, and give me all the glories obtained by that position. Also give me all the mystic powers. Then he wanted to be invulnerable to dry or wet weapons, invulnerable to attack by thunderbolt, attack by mountain. Yes, he didn't want to be attacked by a mountain, by trees, missiles, or any form of weapon. Just immediately prior to this, like a few seconds before, Hiranyakashipu asked Lord Brahma, he said, you know what I want? Lord Brahma had said, tell me what you want, it's yours. Hiranyakashipu said, all right, I want immortality. And Lord Brahma said, I don't have that myself, so therefore I cannot give you it. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu went through this whole list that I won't die in this way or that way or the other way or so many ways. And he thought he had all his, as they say, all his bases covered. Yeah, anyway, it was one of the many mistakes he made, but he thought that I've done it. And he called out, death, close your portals, means your doors. Death, close your doors, because I, Hiranyakashipu, and immortal. Yeah. So then he terrorized the universe. He took over the universe. And he arranged things in such ways that there was no winter in the universe. It was an endless summer. I used to have an endless summer. In the southern summer down here, I'd be down here. In the northern summer up in Europe and so on, I'd be up there. Yeah, not a bad arrangement. So, but anyway, the whole universe, it was a constant summer. And all flower-bearing plants were producing their flowers all the time, 12 months of the year. And all the edible plants were producing their crops the whole year. It was amazing. It was just amazing. All by the power of Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons. One of them was Prahlad. I forget the names of the others. One of them was Ahlad. And I forget the other 2. But then there was Prahlad. And Prahlad, you all know the story. Prahlad was already a great devotee. He was already a great devotee. He had ended, well, Hiranyakashipu went to do austerities a number of times. And one of those times, Lord Indra and the demigods invaded his area. And they were going to kill Kayadu. But Narada Muni appeared on the scene and said, no, let me take her and I'll look after her in my ashram. Indra said, but in her womb, she's pregnant. It must be a demon, the son of Hiranyakashipu. So simple solution, let me just cut her head off. Haribol. Then we don't have to worry about this child of Hiranyakashipu. But Narada said, no, he's a great devotee. He was Prahlad. So he took Kayadu back to his ashram and he preached to her every day. And Prahlad within the womb heard all this Krishna consciousness all day, every day. And he was already a Krishna conscious person. But now he was just saturated with Krishna consciousness. So when he finally appeared, he was really a topmost devotee. So, yes, and famous incident, Hiranyakashipu asks the teachers, Sanda and Amarka, please bring Prahlad, I want to question him, see how he's doing at school. And Prahlad came, and Hiranyakashipu said, what is the best thing? What are the best things you're learning at school? And Prahlad said, sure, best thing is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. These are the best things. Now, this is Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing and chanting about Krishna, remembering Krishna, and so on. These are the best things I've learned. And of course, Hiranyakashipu, he hated Narayan or Vishnu because, among other things, the Supreme Lord had killed his brother, Hiranyakashipu. Yeah. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Lord Vishnu and take some of the Lord's blood from his body and offer it to Hiranyaksha, who, he said, was very fond of sucking blood. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So anyway, long story short, Hiranyakashipu eventually decided that this son, this Prahlad, somehow he's become contaminated by the enemy. So it's going to have to do away with him. So he tried to kill him or have him killed in different ways. He had him thrown into a pit of poisonous snakes, but they all became friendly snakes. And Prahlad was just playing with them. And when they took him out of the pit, he was saying, "No, I don't want to go, these are my friends." And then some of Hiranyakashipu's soldiers came with their weapons, swords and spears and so on, and they wanted to kill him with these weapons, but suddenly they became transformed into like these children's plastic weapons, if you know what I mean. I remember when Star Wars first came out in the 70s, that one of our devotees got a contract to make star sabers. Do you know what a star saber is from Star Wars? If you don't, that's good. I mean, I never saw Star Wars. So we made these lightsabers. They were torches with like a tube of plastic stuck into the top of the torch. The only problem with it was when you tried to fight with them, the tube would just immediately come out. So their weapons became like that, like these useless plastic rubber weapons that couldn't hurt a fly. And again, Prahlad enjoyed these fighting games. Then he threw Hiranyakashipu, had him thrown off a cliff, but actually the Lord caught him just at the bottom and placed him gently on the ground. And Prahlad quickly climbed up. Hiranyakashipu was up on top thinking, that's it, he's finished. He's completely finished. And then suddenly Prahlad appeared and said, "Let's play that flying game again. That's a good game." Finally, Hiranyakashipu, he was a bit of a cook. He made some aloo sabji, potato sabji. He made some aloo sabji, potato sabji, and put in it enough poison to kill 100 elephants, and gave it to Prahlad. And Prahlad offered it and started eating. First mouthful, that should have been the end of him. But actually he was happily eating through the potato sabji. And Hiranyakashipu was asking him, "How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay?" And Prahlad was saying, "Yes, nice sabji." And in the end, he asked for more. So Hiranyakashipu couldn't figure it out. Where do you get your power from? And Prahlad said, "Of course I get it from the same place as you. From the Supreme Lord, from Lord Vishnu." And naturally, Hiranyakashipu became extremely angry and said, "Well, if this Vishnu, now if you get your power from Vishnu," well, he asked Prahlad, "Where is he? Where is this Vishnu?" And Prahlad was on such an elevated level of Krishna consciousness, he saw the Lord everywhere. He'd just look around and he would see him right there. He'd look up, he'd see him there. He'd look down, he would see him there. He would just see the Lord everywhere. And he assumed, Prahlad assumed, that everyone was seeing things, seeing the world, seeing life, the way he was seeing it. So Hiranyakashipu was asking him, where is he? Where's this God of yours? And Prahlad was thinking, he's looking around and he saw the Lord over there, then he saw the Lord here, and he saw the Lord here, and there, and then up he saw the Lord. And Prahlad thought to himself, what's wrong with my father? Maybe he needs glasses. Because he thought everyone was seeing the world the way he was seeing the world. But they weren't. Because he was like a unique person, basically. Great devotee. So Hiranyakashipu said that if he's everywhere then, is he in this pillar? Prahlad looked at the pillar, like this pillar, you see. Prahlad looked at the pillar and saw, yes, right, he's there, there he is. And in just a very straightforward way, he said, yeah, he's there. And then Hiranyakashipu said, all right, then I'll kill him. I'll kill him. So he took his club, or actually he took his fist. Can you imagine? He took it with his fist. He punched the pillar. Can you imagine? Don't try. And also, if someone puts some poison in your sabji, your aloo beanie, or your biryani, don't think that like Prahlad, you can just offer it to the Lord, and then you can just eat it and you'll be fine. No, you won't be fine. Yeah. So, Hiranyakashipu punched the pillar so powerfully that the pillar basically exploded. And out came, well, first of all, Lord Narsingh roared. He's still within the pillar. It hasn't sort of collapsed completely. And Hiranyakashipu was wondering, where's the sound coming from? And then out came Lord Narsingh, half man, half lion. And Hiranyakashipu, he looked at Lord Narsingh and he thought that, who is this? What is this? And he thought, this must be some creation of that Vishnu fellow. But what can he do against me? So therefore he attacked Lord Narsingh and attacked and attacked and attacked. And the Lord sort of played with him. And Lord Narsingh caught hold of Hiranyakashipu at one point. But then Hiranyakashipu apparently slipped out of his grip. And the demigods were watching. And they became afraid. Maybe Narsingh is not able to handle him. So finally, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Narsingh with his club and began to beat him. Lord Narsingh, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just as Garuda might capture a great snake. O Yudhisthira, great son of Bharat, when Lord Narsingh gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods who had lost their abodes and who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were perturbed. So when Hiranyakashipu was freed from the hands of Narsingh, he falsely thought that the Lord was afraid of his prowess. Therefore, after taking a little rest from the fight, he took up his sword and shield and again attacked the Lord with great force, making a loud, shrill sound of laughter. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narsingh, who is extremely strong and powerful, captured Hiranyakashipu, who was protecting himself with a sword and shield, leaving no gaps open. With the speed of a hawk, Hiranyakashipu moved, sometimes in the sky and sometimes on the earth. His eyes closed because of fear of Narsingh laughter. Devotees, fasten your seatbelts. No one's standing upright. Let's all be sitting down for what's coming. Are you ready? Fasten seatbelts if you have one. As a snake captures a mouse, or Garuda catches a very venomous snake, Lord Narsingh captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there, and all around, very much afflicted and being captured, Lord Narsingh placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, and in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hands. Shri Narsingh Bhagavan Ki. Shri Narsingh Bhagavan Ki. Lord Narsingh mouth and mane was sprinkled with drops of blood, and his fierce eyes, full of anger, were impossible to look at. Licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narsingh, decorated with a garland of intestines taken from Hiranyakashipu's abdomen, resembled a lion that has just killed an elephant. Shri Narsingh Bhagavan Ki. How would you like that Mahagali? Wow. Yes, so in this way, Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Narsingh. And today is that sacred day of the appearance of Lord Narsingh. And it's sort of, you could say, doubly auspicious in a sense, because today is also, what is it? The disappearance day of Hiranyakashipu. Oh yes, special occasion. Very, very special. So we devotees, in our small ways, in our humble ways, we must pray to Lord Narsingh for protection of all types, as we mentioned earlier. You know, Prabhupada, as we mentioned, he taught the devotees with his own situation. He taught the devotees where there's like mortal danger, where there's real danger, where there's any danger, take shelter of Lord Narsingh. Now you could say, why not just chant Hare Krishna? It can't be wrong, it can't be bad. But the thing is, the Lord appears in different forms, and in those different forms, He's in different moods, and the forms exhibit, they're kind of designed to particularly exhibit the particular mood which is there. So therefore, when it comes to really getting maximum mercy for the fallen souls, we worship Lord Chaitanya. We worship Lord Nityananda. We can also just worship Lord Krishna, why not? Of course we can. But when Krishna is particularly in the mood of giving mercy, he takes the form of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. And as devotees, we should recognize that and accept that that's the attitude of the Lord. That when he gets into a particular mood, he assumes a particular form, and we should, in regard to that mood, we should focus on that form. Even though you could just focus on Krishna for any mood, any time, any place. And it can't be wrong at all. So but when it comes to protection, physical protection and protection from anarthas and material attachments, these types of dangerous things, then we should know it is the Lord's plan, his arrangement. When he's in the mood of protection, he takes the form of Lord Nrsimhadev, and we should recognize that and sort of permit him to be in that form when he's in that mood, rather than just say, well, look, protection, we'll just chant Hare Krishna. So today's the day, and we should remember this. And we should pray to the Lord. We should pray to the Lord regularly for protection. Prabhupada instituted this whole program, not just of chanting the Nrsimhadev prayers when he was sick, but chanting it whenever there was an arati, which back in those days would normally mean your typical devotee after Mongol arati, and maybe after the midday arati, although many devotees were busy at that time, but at least also after the evening arati. So at least twice a day, every devotee in those days when devotees basically all lived in temples, twice a day, every devotee would pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for protection. So, of course, yourselves, so many of you, at least being householders, you have your programs, but find a way to include worship of Lord Nrsimhadev, preferably on a daily basis. And have that mood, have that understanding that when difficulty arises, particularly when danger arises, we should take shelter of Krishna as Lord Nrsimhadev. Just like all of you, all of us, when we're in different moods, we wear different clothes. We can't manifest different bodies, but we can wear different clothes. So you're all in your devotee moods now. But tomorrow, you may be in your working mood, and you'll be wearing whatever you wear to work. And, when you go to bed at night, probably you wear some sort of pajamas or something, because you're in a sleeping mood. So whatever the mood, we sort of present ourselves appropriately, you could say, at least outwardly.